Welcome to the Dementialand Serial Podcast, a story for everyone who knows someone living in or near Dementialand. My name is Zuzka, and this is my story. I hate hospitals. It's hard to believe that only 48 hours ago I was in California, painting in my studio, and I was in heaven. And now I'm in a hospital 2,000 miles away, looking for my mother. I was told she's in room 404. When I got to the room, the lady in the next bed told me that they took her to the lower level for some tests. The room downstairs was large and fluorescent bright. There were long metal tables in sheeted cubicles that corralled the room. Doctors in scrubs rushed through the area. Nurses hovered over their patients. Some stood by monitors. Others tap-slapped wrists to wake up sleeping veins.
Is anyone out there who can help me? Somebody please help. Jackasses, they're all a bunch of jackasses around here.
Oh my God, that voice was just too familiar. I found my mother. She was naked, sitting on a table in one of those curtained cubicles. I called it my Botticelli moment. My mother sat straight, proper-like, but bare ass and suction to the unpapered part of the table. Her leather purse was sweat stuck to her belly. Her knuckles were white, gripping the straps. The purse was the last thing she was going to let anyone take away from her. The woman in front of me, inside my mother's skin, looked like she was the long-lost queen of the seas. An image not like an illustration in a magazine, but more like a Botticelli painting, The Birth of Venus.
Why are you looking at me like that? Snap out of it. You need to find my clothes.
I wanted to get some help, a nurse or a doctor, but I couldn't get myself to move. My mother dove into some airy chatter that I heard at a distance.
And what are you wearing? Is that paint on your skirt? Don't you have any clean clothes? I didn't raise you like this. I always made sure you and your sisters had nice, clean clothes. Oh, you girls were so cute.
We go through this all the time. It's an occupational hazard. I'm a painter, for God's sake.
Where's that cute pleated skirt I got for you for Christmas?
Yeah, well, that skirt was at the Salvation Army, a routine drop my little sister and I made after every gifted holiday. Mom, this skirt is perfectly clean. It just has a little paint on it.
Oh, forget it. Tell me later. Let's just get out of here. My clothes must be here somewhere. Go out there and tell them we're leaving and tell them you're driving me home. Show them your driver's license. You passed that driver's test, didn't you? If you didn't, tell your father to help you. He knows a lot of people. I know people too, but not the kind of people he knows.
I was not about to tell my mother that father died 8 years ago, but paid closer attention to her bruises. The skin around her right eye was black and purple. Her iris was moist and blood red. A bandage covered a large bulge on her forehead.
And where is my, the thing that moves you around? You know what I mean, the thing that you get into.
Your car?
Yes, the car. What do you think I'm talking about? Do you think I'm not talking about the car?
I never saw my mother this disoriented. Mom, why don't you wait a bit? The doctor should come by pretty soon, and he'll tell us what's going on. I tried to collect my thoughts and returned to my mother's nakedness. Let me find you a blanket.
Go and ask them to turn up the heat in this place. It's so damn cold around here.
I moved a small part of the curtain, just a tiny bit to the side, and peeked my head out into the room. The lights were burning bright. I wanted to vomit. My head tunneled my vision and focused my thoughts. A blanket. I got to find a blanket. A few feet away was a stack of sheets lying on the nurse's counter. That's good enough. I grabbed one, I took two, and turned back quickly. Here, Mom, let me put this sheet around you until we find your clothes. And how do you feel? This bruise looks bad, Mom. Does it hurt? It doesn't look very good. Are you sure you're okay?
Of course I'm okay. This place is filled with jackasses.
A nurse walked in. A doctor followed. He pulled the curtain back behind him, covering Violet's partially naked breasts from the rest of the room.
Hello, Violet. How are you feeling?
Just fine. And we're ready to go home. My daughter's right here. See, she's ready to take me home.
Well, Mrs. Violet, you're pretty sick. We're going to keep you here for a few more days.
She released only one finger that gripped the straps of her purse and pointed it directly at me.
Listen, Doctor, my daughter is standing right here. See that girl? She flew all the way from California, and she's going to take me home. Now, if you can find my clothes, I'd be grateful. And then I can get out of here.
Violet moved her attention and gave me the candy command.
Give him some of those candies and let's go home.
Are you Violet's daughter?
Yes, I'm Violet's daughter.
Your mom is very sick. We ran a number of tests and did a spinal tap, which is why she's so irritated and naked. We gave her a gown. The nurses helped put it on, but I'm not sure what happened to it. I'll ask the nurse to bring in another gown.
The doctor continued in more seriousness.
Your mother has meningitis encephalitis.
Oh, I felt the heavy weight of those words without really knowing what was behind them.
It's the inflammatory disease of membranes that surround the brain as well as the spinal cord. In your mother's case, she's probably had the infection for months. The infection has caused a rapid onset of dementia.
I didn't know what to say. I dropped my head and stared at my mother. There was no sign of a question in her eyes.
We'll keep her here for now.
He kept talking. It didn't seem to make any difference. My ears stopped all words from making any sense.
Has she traveled abroad in the last 6 months? Has she been around anyone who's been sick, has herpes, anyone with the mumps or HIV?
Oh my God, where is this going? Does this woman in front of him look like she's a world traveler? Does she look like she's going to go to some drug-infested country on a vacation? Does she look like a smuggler? A mule, perhaps? Oh, for Christ's sake, what in the hell is he talking about? Images flashed quickly of my mother sharing needles with other church ladies after Mass. You never really know a person.
Has she been outside near water, near mosquitoes?
Oh, the 4th of July picnic.
The half-naked woman spoke.
Oh, we had 75 people come to our 4th of July family reunion. Tell them, Zuzka, it was the biggest crowd than ever. Some people came as far as Texas.
She turned her full attention toward me for some sort of clarification.
Remember, Zuzka, tell him there were 75. Tell him there were 75.
She must have had this virus for months. She appears to be showing signs of being in the moderate stages of dementia. But unfortunately, with this virus, you'll soon see a quick progression in both her memory loss and communication. We can treat the meningitis encephalitis, but there's nothing we can do for the dementia. Does she live alone?
Yes, my mother lives alone. My response was slow, as if the words were standing on the bridge's edge and close to jumping to its death. I live in California.
Well, she cannot live alone anymore.
Thank you for listening to this Dementialand podcast, She Cannot Live Alone. For me, it is the most important episode, a turning point in my story. It was devastating to hear, and I was scared to death. But I must tell you, moving in with my mother to a place I called Dementialand was more amazing than horrifying. There is a certain amount of freedom that comes with memory loss. I wrote a quote on a paper napkin during that time. It read, "I learned to see my mother with my eyes open, not curtained by her motherhood or my ego. I let go of that daughter I thought I was supposed to be. We really met each other for the first time, almost daily." To this day, I try to carry a little bit of Dementialand with me. My name is Suska, the writer and producer of the Dementialand podcast.